Idaho homebuyers are finally seeing some relief as mortgage rates drop to their lowest level in more than a year. That's our top story tonight. I'm Morgan Romero.
And I'm Brian Holmes. The 30-year fixed rate just dipped out of the high 6% range for the first time in months. So let's bring in Abby Davis. And Abby, how are local families on the house hunt feeling about this?
Well, Morgan and Brian, people are optimistic. One mom says she's hopeful this drop means her family can finally move closer toward their dream of owning a home. Can you do the blue one?
Since moving from Hawaii a year ago, the Nichols family has rented a house in southeast Boise.
We have been just trying to find the right spot for us.
But Megan Nichols says finding that spot has been tougher than expected.
We maybe had the foolish notion that because it was the mainland, it was going to be cheaper than what it was back in Hawaii. And the housing market has been very competitive from what our experience has been, especially here in Boise.
I look almost every day.
Their realtor, Nick Smith, says thankfully the market is starting to turn around.
This is the best that we have seen sustainable for quite some time.
On Friday, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate dropped to 6.29%. Smith says it's the lowest rate since last fall and the biggest one-day drop in more than a year. Back in May, the rate peaked at just over 7%.
It's helpful for buyers because their buying power is better, they can afford more homes, or their monthly payments a little bit lower. It's also great for sellers because it makes their house becomes a little bit more liquid, easier to sell because there's more buyers in the market.
Buyers that are willing to go in and buy right now, they're going to have more leverage.
Jared Cook with Zions Bank agrees.
I hate for buyers to lose out on negotiating power, right? So it's good to go in and buy and negotiate now. And then if mortgage rates do change in the future, you can always refinance or maybe even modify the loan.
Yeah, you like to play with the animals?
For now, the Nichols family is making the most of renting, but hoping lower rates finally tip the odds in their favor.
It definitely feels like the ball is now more on our side of the court and less of like a volley back and forth. So how long can we expect mortgage rates to stay in the low 6% range? Smith says there's no way to know for sure. The Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates later this month, but he told me it can be risky to wait for a cut before buying. That's because mortgage rates don't always move directly in step with Fed decisions. Morgan and Brian.
When he says monthly payments will be lower, what are we talking about here, Abby?
Yeah, well, if you look at the median price of a home in Boise, Smith says the home buyer would save about $200 a month, so a good chunk of change.
All right. Thank you very much. A little bit there.